going to be her transition shade. And when you're building your eyeshadows, when you start out with a neutral transition shade. You can kind of feel like I'm adding all these colors and I don't really see a difference in it. But starting out with the transition shade gives it a really nice smooth gradient. So as I build these colors, you slowly start to see it come together, and you don't really want to be able to tell where one color starts and the other one ends. So transition shades are really, really, really important. Okay, and if you're going for a really funky eye, your transition shade doesn't have to be a certain color. But when you're going for something natural, you always want to pick items that colors. You always want to pick colors that are in the same family. So with this look, since I'm using this muted grayish brownish shade, I have to stick in that muted color family.
Okay, so like when you look at a paint swatch, how they
Exactly.
like that is
Yes,
there.
exactly.
Okay.
Y'all go get paint swatch. It's the best way to guide you through a good eye. Here is Sheila. I gotta incorporate that. Hashtag.
Lord, the queen of the hashtag.
And so I'm just gonna blend this really, really well. And another thing with the eyeshadows, I'm using this 27 blending brush. This is a 19 taper crease brush. And what you want to do is when you're placing, you always want to blend because that gives you a polished look. But something that you want to try to do is not move the bristles or your skin. You want to try it. You want to try, and you can come close if you need to see what I'm talking about. But you want to try not to move the brush bristles. Like so, going in like this. So yeah, you want to try not to. So you don't want to hold it right at the front of the brush because that's going to give you a really firm hand. So the further back you go, the better. It hurts a little bit because you don't really have to work these muscles. But hey, it's alright. And that's another funny story, y'all. I hurt my arm and I could have sworn it was from PT, but y'all know I'm in the Navy. So I said, oh, I'm not hurt doing PT. And he said, okay. My doctor said, okay. He said, what else do you do? I said, well, I'm a makeup artist. And he was like, how long have you been doing makeup? I said, maybe about 10 years. I was like, I love it. And he said, that's what's wrong with your arm. I said, no, sir. It was PT. It was PT. And that's what we're gonna stick with.
Exactly.
All right?
You need that on your disability.
Right.
They always doctors always showing us stuff.
They do. I said, no, sir. It was PT. All right? So I had to walk around with a cast for a little while. Not a cast, but a sling. I was in a lot of pain. But I said, I'm just gonna have to be in pain, you know. God gave me this gift, and I ain't gonna let no pain stop it. All right. So, I'm alright. So I'm going in just with a different shade of darker shade, but still, like I said, in the same color family. And since I put the first shade here, I'm just going to move down a little bit further using the same brush. I'm just going to move down a little bit further just to kind of build up that color. Okay? Alright, so now I'm going to go in with a darker shade. Y'all refer to your paint swatches, okay, on which color to use next. And I'm using the same brush because I like the way it blends. And with the leftover products on the brush, it's going to help marry those colors together. Okay. So I'm just going to use this dark shade just right here on the outer corner of her eye. And like I said, refer to your eye shape charts as to where to place these colors and the different type of eye looks that you can do to enhance the eye shape. Okay. I'm just going to do a tiny little circle on the outside. Hey y'all! Good morning. How you doing? said, I'm just gonna keep that darker shade right on the outside. And y'all, this is still daytime, okay? So y'all be killing it in that work. Okay, so before I put her lid, well, no, I'll go ahead and put her lid shade on first.
Would you suggest doing one eye and then the other eye, or doing them both at the same time?
That's a good question, but I don't know.
Please say yes.
I think I do mine together. So after I do one brow, I do the other brow, you know, and I just bounce back and forth. You can, you know, if that helps, rock out, you know.
If I did both of them.
That's so different. I never even thought about that. That's a really good question. So what do y'all do? Do y'all do one eye at a time? Do y'all do like
Same time. Yes, so I don't look crazy.
you do?
Yeah.
Excellent. You get the golden star.
I don't know how to answer that question now.
So I'm going to stick with the matte look. Well, no, not because I don't want to. So I'm going to go in with two colors that I'm mixing. So
You still doing the daytime look though, right?
I'm gonna go in with these two. I'm judging balance, alright. And so I'm just gonna take a flat eyeshadow brush and just tap that on the inside. You want to kind of take your time. And just kind of lightly pressing. You can always add more product if you want. You don't have to, you know? Oh, y'all. And I was telling everybody, social media is wide open, okay? So y'all can live stream, all this. Okay. Take pictures, everything. Ask all the questions y'all want. Okay. Alright. So, I'm gonna have Tamara walk around y'all so y'all can get a closer look at her eye before we do that. Almost bad. So that's all the time. Alright. So I like to use gel eyeliners just because I think they perform better. But liquid eyeliners are really good too. I use those as well. But gel liners give you a little bit more control unless you have a liquid liner that you're used to and you like to use. Is that waterproof? And you know what? I'm not really impressed by waterproof products because that's exactly what it is. Waterproof. You know? And I don't buy into it because it's not sweat proof, it's not tear proof, it's just plain, you know, and water has nothing in it. So that's misleading.
And it's not oil proof.
Yeah. So when I see a waterproof problem, I'm like, alright. Like who's gonna like have water, just plain water in their face on a daily basis? I think that's crazy. But this one is not tear or sweat proof. If I find one. So I'm just gonna go in with a small angle liner brush. So together. And Ivy, can you put some next on it? Please. With black eyeliner, the main purpose of it is just to make your eyelashes look thicker. Well, if you have black eyelashes. To make them look thicker, so I place my gel liner as close to the lash line as possible. And you want to do small strokes. You can make it wider if you want, but like I said, this is for the daytime, so you don't really have to do all of that at work or wherever you are. And that's good. You're a fine girl.
We all do. Just how they pumped it out.
So when you do her line, where do you normally start from, like a normal look? Because you know now they go all the way back here, up there.
I like to stop where your natural, the last lash you have on your eye. You can stop right there if you want a really, really natural look. Your last lash on the
Okay,
very
the
end, you
last
can stop your eyeliner right there. If you want a natural look.
Okay.
Okay, so I've already done her eyes, so I'm gonna go in with her foundation.
For older women, I was told that the sticks, this might be false information, it's not. It's a little, I guess because we have drier skin, I'm older. I'm an old lady.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
But my skin is dry, and somebody was saying that the stick is not the best for older ladies.
I think it depends on what brand it comes from, because some people make foundation sticks that are really, really moisturizing. The best thing that I found so far was like BB cream. That gives a lot of. A BB cream is like a beauty balm, so it has a lot of products in one. So you like remember at the beginning I was talking about those steps. It cuts down those steps because it has some of them have sunscreen in them. Not so much now because all the flashbacks and stuff, but some of them have sunscreen in them, and you know moisturizers and all this. Yeah, primer. Thank you, baby. Primer. So it just helps, you know, cut down all of this stuff, and it doesn't have as much coverage. It has a little bit of coverage, but not as much as a foundation would have. But that's really, really good for just a deep moisture. It's really good. So that would be my recommendation. Like I said, unless there's a stick that you have that's really hydrating.
Okay.
And if your skin is really dry, you can add some facial oil to it, or add it to your moisturizer during the day, because facial oils aren't as filmy as a regular oil would be, so they absorb really, really well, especially when your face is damp. So you can add facial oil to your moisturizer and go in with a BB cream, you'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna buff this in and repeating what I said earlier. Try not to move the bristles or your skin. I'm sorry, I didn't tell y'all. The restrooms are all the way down the hall. Walk as far as you can, and it's gonna be on the third door to your left. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, you want to try not to move the bristles or your skin, because that gives you a really nice airbrushed finish. Throw your hair back into the bag.
So you should apply that with a brush and not a sponge or whatever.
I do, because my nails are long and I poke myself a lot. So I use that. Some people use beauty blenders. I think that takes too long, but you know, to each his
What
own.
about the flat brush? The flat foundation brush? Do you use that?
The one that looks like a paintbrush, or like the ice
yeah.
brushes with a handle on the back?
The paint.
Paintbrush. That one's good for people who really don't have issues with pores or discoloration. I like that one for them. Oops, excuse me. I don't really use that one too much because on my face I have to cover things up, so I don't. It makes it feel like I'm just layering it on my face, but it looks good on some people. Like yours, you are a perfect candidate for that because your skin is perfect. I ain't there.
Whitney, you want to talk about different brushes and different colors based on the brush, the size of it? Like the brush you're using right now and the
Yes.
colors that you're getting?
Thanks, babe. So, going just off this brush, the shorter the bristles, the more coverage you can look for in that brush, and the longer your bristles, like brushes like this and brushes like this, the more sheer your product is gonna go on. Okay, and this Sephora brush, even though it does have longer bristles, it does give a really pretty airbrush finish. Really pretty, really nice. And the shorter and more dense your brushes are, you can expect some really, really, really full coverage from those. Really full coverage. This. Thank you for that, baby. And y'all working with stick foundation? You want to like really fast. Some of them dry. Sephora brand and Anastasia, you don't really have to worry about that too much, but others dry really quickly. Leave your best This one is Sephora brand. So I love Sephora brand and Anastasia.
So we probably missed the part as far as finding the correct color.
When I'm looking for, let's start right here, travel around. But I match foundations to my client's neck because that's gonna give you a really nice even tone. But sometimes your face is a different color from your neck and your chest and all that. So that's gonna give you a really, really nice, even, polished look. So you can really tell you where. So that's typically what I do. Some people like to see their foundation. I'm not one of those people.
How long typically, if you wear makeup daily, natural, the natural look, does the stick foundation last? And do you do like a blend of the foundations? Is it easy to do a blend of the foundations? Because a lot of us, our skin tones are different in different areas of the face. So the first question, how long does it last for a person who would use makeup daily? And the other question is there a way that you can like blend colors with the stick?
First question, it should last you maybe a month or two. Maybe a month or two. Stick foundations, they make them now so that they last you a little bit longer because they're so expensive. You're not gonna go buy a new one every 30 days. I'm not.
Okay.
So yeah, that one lasts. They last about maybe a month and a half, 2 months if you're lucky. And about the mixing foundations, yes, you can mix them. So what you would do is just take a stripe of one and just put the other one every other place that you didn't put the first one. And when you blend those, the colors are gonna marry together, and it's gonna create your perfect shade. I have to do that because my skin tone, I have my undertone is green, and it's not too often that you can find a really good brown green. So sometimes I have to mix mine. So yeah, when you blend those two together with a good blending brush, y'all record, a good blending brush from Morphe. when you blend those two, it comes together really nicely.
Okay.
Really nicely.
How do you figure out your undertone?
I was just about to ask that. That was a good question.
Finding out your undertone. I ain't gonna say I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm the right person to ask. But it's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Some people say, I don't recommend this, but some people say if you squeeze your arm here, whatever color it turns is your undertone.
Oh, wow.
So if it turns red, you have a cooler undertone, and if it's dark, of course, you have a warmer undertone. Hey, you have a darker undertone. And a lot of people look at their veins. Your veins are a really, really good way to tell. So if you look at your veins and they're more so green, you have a golden tone. But if you look at them and they're blue, you have a cooler tone. So you know to go for those foundations with reds and pinks and stuff like that.
Good to know.
So yeah, if you look at your veins and judge it by green or blue.
Okay, so I don't know what color it is. It looks blue. It looks blue. It might be off teal color today. I'm trying to get my color back.
Yeah, just look at your veins and that'll tell you. So crazy.
You say green is golden?
Uh-huh. In blue, you want to go with the redder tone. And it also helps too, y'all, in picking lip colors. Because if you're warmer, those really pretty blue reds look good on you. And you know, you can. Some people like those pinks with the fuchsia undertone. I'm not one of them people, but those blue reds are really nice.
Question with the sponges with that, do you clean those or do you just buy new sponges?
Clean them.
How do you clean those?
I buy a lot of them, girl. I buy
Oh.
so many. Oh my gosh, I got so many eggs in my house. But yeah, I clean. The beauty blenders are really, really easy to clean. Other brands I found are a little harder to clean because they aren't as squishy as the beauty blender ones are. But I have, where's it? This little egg carton.
Super
It
cute.
came from Beauty Bakery. Hey girl.
Hey.
How you doing? So this came from Beauty Bakery and it comes with 6 little eggs for $18. So I love this one. And I'm going to pass one of those around just so you can feel the texture difference.
It's super cute.
They're just different colors, but they're all the same thing.
This one is one that came from Beauty Blender. This is one of my old faithfuls, so she'll will beat up. So you can feel the texture difference between an actual Beauty Blender sponge and a Beauty Bakery sponge. Now most of the ones on the market from Real Techniques and all that feel like that. I don't like that too much, but I like hers.
Can you repeat that about the eggs?
Which part? Which part?
What you say about it?
I got you. Okay, so the pink one is from Beauty Bakery, and the black one is
Beauty blend.
you said quite a bit.
A seasoned
black one
one.
is the seasoned beauty
It's
blend. So
seasoned,
she
yeah.
pass around so you can feel the difference in the texture. Yes.
And you like the black one better? You like the
I
black one?
love Beauty Blender, but Beauty
It's
Blender
just
is expensive.
the beauty blenders
You know,
are
especially for me,
bouncier
'cause I buy a lot of
and
stuff in
easier to
bulk.
clean than the other.
So I have a few. I have maybe like 3 or 4 Beauty Blenders, but I like Beauty Bakeries because it's affordable and the texture is really nice and it's very easy to clean, much easier than others that I've tried.
Oh, and they expand when they get wet. So they
Yes,
get-
yes. They get really fat when it's wet.
And that's a pink holder for it.
Pink.
And so your Beauty Blender, of course, you want to use that damp. You don't want it to be soaking wet because it'll pick up your product and just have it sitting there and then you're going to have to reapply and it's just a bit mess. But you always want to use that while it's damp.
And what did you put under her eyes? That was,
That one was a stick foundation that I used to
Okay.
kind of highlight, but you can use concealer.
okay.
All that.
So you damp it first and then you blend, use it to blend?
And you always want to use this one to tap, because you don't, if you wipe it, it's just gonna wipe away your product. You know, especially with this having so many pores. This is a rose mist from Boscia, and it's just a skincare product that I used to wet my beauty with, but I love it. Okay, that one around. So y'all can spray it too, so you can smell it and see if you're okay with the scent.
And why did you spray that on there again? Just the pink.
So wet my beauty blender.
Not bad. I want some of that. I love that. And it has witch hazel in it.
And I'm just gonna take a little bit of my NARS setting powder and just place that right along her bottom lash line. Because I suffer from allergies, and it's not too many products out there that are tear-proof. But this setting powder is one of the ones that I found that really doesn't cause my concealer and foundation to crease under my eyes when my eyes do water. So I love this one. So I'm just gonna use it.
I'm sorry, who is it by?
This powder? NARS. I'll just do that right under her eyes, and it doesn't leave that weird cast.
Now this is a setting powder, right? Okay.
So once you put the setting powder, that's it. So do people still use the Ben Nye, or is that kind of played out now?
I've been Nye. I mean, you record.
Yes.
I love Ben Nye. Okay.
Cause I never hear that much, like, if you watch tutorials a lot, you never hear that much about them.
Yeah, Ben Nye is still really, really good because the way it photographs is beautiful, and it gives you that really, really nice sculpted look. It can be a lot, you know, when you're just looking at it, just you know, looking straight on. But I absolutely love it. And this is my Laura Mercier setting powder. That's just a translucent powder. You can use.
Now, Whitney, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer like on, you know, on women of color? Do you prefer the deep, or do you prefer just the regular rose?
From Laura Mercier? It depends on your tone. Because I told you my tone is green. So when I tried the deep Laura Mercier, it turned this god awful orange on me, and it made my under eye. That looks so white. But it turned this really, really terrible, like dark color under my eyes. So if you have a cooler undertone, so use your red foundations, it'll be perfect. But for more, you know, warmer sisters,
You don't like
it's I was not feeling it at all. What you think about?
Well, she talked about that a little bit more with like eye creams that you can use in skin prep beforehand. So yeah, maybe I'll ask that. She doesn't say that
Skincare. And that's what anything else. Oh, that's the foundation powder.
Yeah, that's the translucent.
But the product itself is excellent, and Laura Mercier just came out with a really pretty radiant one. Gorgeous.
Cool question. What's the difference between a setting powder and a translucent powder? What's the difference?
Really, nothing.
Nothing.
Really, some setting powders have a little bit of color, and translucent powders can have a tint to them as well and still be translucent. But some setting powders just have a color.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, I have a question with,
Mm-hmm.
underneath
Mhm.
this area, I don't know about most women, but
even once the makeup is applied, there tends to be this ring that kind of goes under the eye. How do you, or puffiness that's here, even once the makeup is applied, for me, that's the area I'm having problems with. Everything is smooth, but this right here is, you know, I sometimes put concealer, or I put something with a red pigmentation and kind of do layers. It's still there. I still can't get rid of that.
So is it puffiness or is it discoloration?
It's both.
Okay, so for the puffiness, I use this on tomorrow, and I'm gonna hand this around. But that one, here you go. Kind of helps reduce all of that under eye wrinkles, puffiness, all of that, and a really good eye cream as well. It's really good, like an eye gel at night.
Okay.
Excuse me, those are really, really good for that piece. Now for the discoloration, you may have to use a color corrector if you experience dark circles. So women like my skin tone or your skin tone, when you use a color corrector, you don't ever want to go lighter. Because if you go lighter, it's just going to keep building and you still won't be able to see that stuff,
Okay.
you know, under there.
Okay.
But you always want to use one that's darker than your skin. So I would use a dark burnt orange, maybe something in that color family, but much heavier. And that's gonna, you place that and you just blend that out, and when you put your concealer on it, you can't see nothing.
Okay.
So you put that on first, then the concealer.
Just to kind of correct that, and it'll make it look like nothing was ever wrong. Okay, so you always want to go darker. And you would think, you know, you would go lighter just to kind of neutralize the area.
That's a mistake, going lighter. Okay.
And I'm using gel liner on the bottom of her eye too.
What brand was the gel liner? I knew, but I was using the wrong color. From my pigmentation, I used burnt orange. So I'm not
Love.
using the color.
I got it from Tyson. I love it.
And don't put anything.
It's really good. And if your eyes water, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't move. And I'm just taking an angle brush and just kind of patting it on there. And once we get to the second look, I'm gonna smudge that out some just so y'all can see the way it's transitions.
And this is the
I think this is the one for the puffin.
Oh yeah,
Under eye bags and wrinkles.
I've seen that on television.
You place it on? It's so good. When I
Is
saw
it-
I was
does it
watching
really
an
work?
infomercial. Yes. I was watching an infomercial at like midnight. I was like,
And so it really does work well. You like it.
the only thing that bothers me is I'm always going, and like my life is so fast paced. You have to sit there for a legit 10 minutes, emotionless, and just let it set. Yes. Yes, because if you frown, I had some. I'm like, go to sleep, girl. But if you frown your face and do all of that while it's setting, it'll lock that stuff. It'll lock it up. It's gonna be a struggle. So after you put it on, just lay back. And like I said, I use it on my smile lines. So I cannot laugh for 10 minutes out. That is so hard for me. So hard.
How long does it
But how long does it last? Until you wash it out.
Oh.
And
So all day.
it's considered a faker and a fixer. So it's fixing it right then and there, but then it's kind of helping it over time too. And if you do stuff like Botox and all of that, it just helps with the results. It makes it better.
And what's the name of the product that you're referring to, Whitney? Can you give it a real shout out hashtag for the bags?
Plexiderm, love you. Right. I tell y'all, like the setting that stuff. I can't laugh. I can't look at nothing. It's a struggle, but it was worth it.
Does it work for puffiness of look? Cause I suffer with this droop down. Like as I get older, this up here is just starting to fall. It falls down.
It does. Yeah, it does help with that. It does help with that, but you also need the eye cream I pass around. That one
That
is
mask.
really good. And your eye cream, if it's a jelly type texture and not creamy, you can keep it in the refrigerator because once you put that cold cream on it, it's gonna attack you as soon as it gets on there and start reducing that puffiness.
Okay.
Hey, pretty girl, how you doing? Okay.
So you use
That was like an instant thing.
Now where did that foundation go?
Which one? Right here. Like that. I think if you put it on, it like instantly like.
So that's when I wake up from no sleep. And that's just everything.
Yeah.
Some more.
Any other questions, y'all?
I have a question. When I put on, I guess, regular pencil liner, like I blink so much during the day, I notice I have that little black cast on the bottom of my eye. Would you say gel liner is better because it doesn't go
Gel liner is good for that, but if you want to continue with your pencils, because a lot of people use pencils because it's so easy, you know. So if you want to continue to use your pencil liner, take some of this and get a angle brush and just lightly push the powder into that because that's gonna help trap it when it does try to droop down. Or you can use eyeshadow, or if you're not going for a smoky look, you can use translucent. But with the smoky looks, especially that really helps that liner, and it kind of keeps your eye oils intact. So just do a really thin line of some setting powder under the nose. It should help that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, like, I have really big eyes. Nobody look at my eyes, but how do you like? Okay, do you guys ever do like under eye shadow with like a smudge brush? I can never get it right, cause to me it just looks all weird. But like, what is a good way to like place it and then like smudge it out, if that makes sense? Cause like, could she do that instead of like doing eyeshadow? Just let me smudge it out, or is it mascara or is it liner?
It's liner.
It's liner. Okay.
Yeah, that putting that powder under that liner will really help that bleeding. But one mistake I was making for a long time is using a brush like this to like smudge my eyeshadows under my eyes and my liners and stuff. And it just didn't give me a really, polished look. But something that I did discover using a brush.
Because I'm always afraid of eyeshadows underneath because I don't know how to do it. So
something like this, the really small fluffy eyeshadow brush, it'll give you that really pretty smooth finish. So I'll let y'all.
Can I touch it?
Yeah. Do you think? And I'm actually gonna do that later on tomorrow, so y'all can see how it works. So yeah, I just added a little bit more coverage to her face, and I am going to highlight her a little bit just to give her a glow. Now this is still speaking to the daytime look. Now y'all, for brown skin, I would pass this one around, but I'm about to use it. But for darker skin women or warm women, this Gold Deposit by MAC is perfect.
Gold Deposit?
It's a really pretty light bronzy shade, and you can keep adding if you need more, and it gets better and better.
Yeah.
MAC. How y'all doing?
Gold
And this could go for lighter skin to darker skin, like okay.
And I like this one because it's brown, but it's really sheer. It's really sheer.
this the same thing that the MAC that you
That
do?
one is Body Shop, but that color is, you can open it because it has like a pearly type of finish to it, where the other one is more so golden.
But it's the same use. The same use. Okay.
I just want to lightly kiss the tops of her cheeks with this. Really, really, really lightly. Just to give her a little bit of a glow. Just a little sprinkle of skincare in there. Wake you up for the day.
Do you suggest that for just dry skin or oil skin or both? The spritz, the go for it.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just skincare, so that's good for all skin types. And y'all, this is just a sheer gloss.
Is that your gloss? Your brand? Okay.
No, Erica, this one is not mine, but I do have a color back there, y'all, called Gold Bear, that looks just like this. What? Right.
Or I don't know
What?
what's on the side. I think it looks good. You just gotta be careful.
Alright, y'all, so this is just my Morphe setting spray.
So that's, what's the difference between this and the other spray that you use?
This spray is skincare. That one is to set makeup.
Okay.
Like to refresh your face throughout the day.
Now, if you're more of an oily tone, would that create a more greasy, like make you look a little, more greasy throughout the day? Because I'm very oily.
The facial spray?
Yeah.
No, because
No?
it doesn't really have those oils in it.
Okay.
It feels like water, but it's just imparting those nutrients and all that stuff that your skin needs. So no, it
Okay.
doesn't make you like oily or nothing like that.
Okay.
So you guys, we are going to take a break before we go to the next look, and I'm gonna have Tamara walk around just so y'all can see how her face looks before we take it to the next level. Y'all can eat, y'all can shop.
Yes,
and
girl. Yes,
do
you
all
beat.
that.
You beat, girl. You beat.
She looks so pretty.
You're so pretty, girl.
Pretty girl.
Here you go. Beautiful girl. Beautiful.